welcome. Start the clapping and cheering.
Woo! I'm cheering myself. Woo! Good evening, everybody. I hope everyone's well. My name's Vicky. I am relatively new to stand-up comedy. I started during the pandemic, so to be fair, the majority of it has actually been sit-down comedy. I've been wanting to do it for quite a while, but you know how it is, like life gets in the way. Life's 8 now, actually, and I didn't realise just how much I despised kids until I had one of my own. I'm sure if there is any other parents in, they can relate to this. Like, you can ask a child to do something really simple and it'll be the worst thing in the world. I asked my son the other day, can you put your pyjamas on, please? It's bedtime. What he hears is, can you slaughter your pet while standing on one leg and reciting the Bible backwards? It was like the same reaction. And I don't ask him to recite the Bible backwards because that's just a bit too far. But anyway, I thought that Labour would be a breeze, you know what I mean? I'm a northerner, I've watched Coronation Street, you know what I mean? It's very straightforward, but it's not like that at all, right? I had a water birth, sorry to any of the gentlemen here, but I had a water birth, and you know it's going to be an experience when the midwife says to you, can I check your cervix? I have to do the hand movement. Can I check your cervix? And your ex-partner jumps in the pool and goes, don't worry about it, love, I've got this. And I quote, I've birthed cows before. It's like, right, thanks, mate. You know, he is my ex now, I hasten to add. My fella at the time, Steve, was not impressed with that at all. I'm like introducing them between contractions. I'm like, Steve, Michael, Steve, can we just get on with this, please? It was like a budget Bridget Jones's baby, you know what I mean? It was that kind of vibe. But yeah, after a lot of mooing, my son arrived, all £9 two of him. It was great. Like, I'm crawling out of the birthing pool, looking like the kind of Bond girl that you'd ordered off Wish. And the midwife passed me my son, and it's meant to be a beautiful moment. And she said, don't look back, Vicky. And to the day I die, oh, I will wish that I had listened to her, because some things you just can't unsee. Yeah, Dr. Niall, knows what I'm talking about. It looked like Fred West had a pool party in there, let's put it that way. There was blood, there was shit. I think my vagina and fallopian tubes were bobbing along the top of the water at one point. I told the midwife just to bag it up and burn it, because I am not using my vagina ever again after that experience. But obviously we've all been in this lockdown, the pandemic, and homeschooling. Again, for anyone who's got young kids, it's been a challenge, and I'm not going to lie to you, there have been times when I've contemplated adoption, because I think my son just deserves better, if I'm honest. But after some very sharp words from the local adoption centre, they have informed me that no one wants to adopt a 35-year-old manic depressive with abandonment issues. So my son is stuck with me a little bit longer. But yeah, the questions during... Kids are inquisitive, you know what I mean? You expect them to ask really deep and meaningful questions, you know what I mean? Like, why are we here? What's the meaning of life? You know, that kind of shit. But my son asks the questions that everyone wants to know the answer to, which one of them was, why do goats have beards, mummy? And I'm like, right, what do I do with that? Well, I'll tell you what I did with it. Google, I'm so grateful to be part of the Google generation, because it turns out, and here's a fact for you, goats have beards because they're all hipster twats. Like, and if you're offended by that, take it up with Google, not me, I didn't say it, I promise. But yeah, a lot of people, obviously, I do slag off my son a lot in my sets, and a lot of people think I am unnecessarily harsh with him, and I just want to make it clear that I do love him. However, you haven't met him. You know what I mean? My defence is, you haven't met him. He is an absolute dick, to be perfectly honest with you. But anyway, right, I will stop. Sorry, I will stop slagging my son off. I will talk about something that I'm actually proud of. About 2 weeks ago, I quit smoking. I'm very proud of myself for that. The first week, I was, woo, yeah. The first week, I was like the Hulk on PMT. It was awful. My son come into my room. He goes, "Good morning, mummy," and I just punched him in the face. By punched him in the face, I want to add, I didn't actually punch him in the face. I just sort of flicked him in the forehead, but again, same reaction. I kind of wish that I had punched him in the face just to warrant the reaction he gave me. The second week, sorry, I became a bit arrogant. You know what I mean? I was a bit cocky. And my friend offered me a fag, and she went, "Oh, do you want this?" And I looked at her, and I was like, "I actually care about what goes in my body." And she looked at me and she went, "No, you don't. I've seen your exes." I was like, "Oh, well, yeah, that's fair enough. I am a slag." But anyway, that's my time. Thank you very much, Sean. I appreciate you all laughing, and I'm going to go and have a cigarette now. See you later.